Hola. Hey, y'all. Oftentimes I talk about all the good stuff that's happening in Mexico and sometimes the bad things as well. But today, man, Mexico is dealing with some serious stuff. Um, so we ask that you all pray and keep the folks in Mexico in prayer as they are going through a difficult time. I know a lot of people are checking in on the various Facebook groups and forums, talking about, hey, I got a vacation coming up. Is it safe for me to come? Should I go? Or what about my ticket? Will I be safe there? I get it, but man, folks are dealing with some real problems right now. Uh, One of the cartel leaders was killed today, and it just kind of set off a chain reaction of violence across the country. Many states across the country are basically in a lockdown mode, have been shut down, red alert, shelter in place. I got a few friends that are living in various parts of the country, Guadalajara. They have a shelter in place order. She sent me a message earlier today to tell me that, hey, they are okay, but they're seeing buildings and cars being burnt up, gas stations being lit up. The airport there has been taken over. I don't know if it's still under any other control, but they stormed the airport, and you got people. I'm gonna pull up some stuff here, um, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. They're setting up roadblocks, the setting fires to cars, and I mean you can kind of see some of that going on here. Uh, it's
Su
going
puta madre. Esto es Ixtapa.
it's going crazy. And typically, when a cartel leader gets detained or killed, there's generally a lot of stuff that pop off afterwards. Um, and typically, in a few days, things kind of mellow out, but uh, no one knows for sure how this is going to go. Jalisco's governor just declared a statewide code red. The military, the National Guard, and local cops are swarming the region. Again, you got people from all over the place just kind of sending videos, clips of what's happening in their area. And, as you can imagine, folks are scared. Some guys rode up to the gas station and set it on fire. So you got all kinds of things just happening all over the city. Um, you got people in the airports running for cover, um, hiding out. This is one. This is the airport. So you got people running and hiding and they're getting out. So airport shut down. This is the airport, kind of hard to imagine how in 2027 people are having to live like this um, in the world. Many flights have been rediverted. Flights from Canada, flights from the U.S. have been rediverted. A lot of flights have been canceled. And, so a lot going on. So lift your prayers up to the folks here, man. Um, don't know how long this is going to carry on. There's a few states that have like I say, have this code red alert. Let me see here if I can find something here. Trying to pull some stuff up on the other computer. But but yeah, so you oftentimes hear people talk about, hey man, I'm not moving to Mexico because of the violence and you know, so these are some of the hot pockets right now. I got a guy that's driving through this area, sent me a message. He was driving from the US, left a day or two ago, and he's stuck here right now. Was driving down, bringing his car, bringing some stuff with him. So he's like, hey man, pray for me, man. We're getting off the road. We're checking into a hotel. We're gonna hunker down, because they couldn't get out. They were passing through, and this is where they got stuck at. So he sent me his live connection just so I can kind of keep tabs on them and whatnot. And so it's some real deal stuff going on. The U.S. Embassy and Consulate for today, Sunday, February 2022, February 22nd, 2026, they have sent out the notice due to ongoing security operations and related road blockages and criminal activity. U.S. citizens in the named location should shelter in place until further notice. Action to seek shelter and minimize unnecessary movements. Remain in your residences or hotels. Avoid areas around law enforcement activity. Beware of your surroundings. Monitor local media for updates. Follow the directions of local authorities. And in case of emergency, call 911. Avoid crowds. Keep family and friends advised of your location and well-being via phone, text, and social media. So that's from the U.S. government. And let's see here. Just looking for some other information. There's a lot of details on right now. This is the guy. His death has triggered chaos and violence across Mexico. So it's going down. It's pretty bad in many parts of the country. So a lot of people ask, well, should I move to Mexico? And you hear all of this stuff, so man, I can't. People who want to play on the side of caution, you can't fault them when you hear news like this. I'm trying to say, you can't fault anybody playing the safe way, playing the safe card. But there are many other places that, you can find safer options. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, now we are here in Merida, very safe, and I have no false illusion that this is always going to be the case. Very well, so far so good until it's not. You know what I mean? And I don't ever want to uh, convince or convey that, hey, you move to Merida, you're gonna be 1,000%, 100% safe for the next 50 years. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what's going to happen from day to day, or week to week, month to month. But so far, things here have been great, have been very safe, and very well may continue to be a safe haven for the next 50, 100 years or so. But when you do your research, take all of the details, factor in everything. You got a lot of foreigners living in Guadalajara. You got a lot of foreigners living in Mexico City. You got a lot of foreigners living in, various parts of Jalisco and whatnot. And they'll tell you it's safe. They feel fine. They feel comfortable, et cetera, et cetera. And then stuff like this happen, and it's not so safe. You know what I mean? But like I say, when deciding on where to live, weigh all your options in the moment. I'm not considering going anywhere else in the moment. Unless things change. of course. But in the moment, we're good. I'm very confident about our safety here, and if anything come off, you adapt, you adjust. So again, not naive to just make a blanket statement that says you're okay, and not fear mongering or anything like that. But if this is something that concerns you, and cartel activity has always been a thing here, and today is just one of those days where it flared up. But it's a thing here, and until they get it under control, it's gonna probably always be a thing. So when you're making decisions on where you want to go, just factor that in. If this is an issue for you, you know, take that information and make some decisions for yourself. Uh, but yeah, so just wanted to share that with you. I'm just looking if there's any other new news live updates. Let me jump back to Twitter. I was on Twitter earlier. Uh, let's see. This is a panoramic view of Puerto Vallarta. This is right now. See all that smoke, fires. So there's a lot of craziness going on. This was about 2 hours ago. So if you are here, I would say, hey, be careful. The military in Jalisco. So yeah. But anyhow, just wanted to put that out and pray for the people here. And 'cause it's sad, man. It's a beautiful country, and people having to deal with this, and it's wow.